Guys, and welcome back. So what we're gonna continue doing now is we're gonna finish our script. So this script is gonna randomize the generation of our obstacles into a certain place and to the certain position. So the next thing that we need to implement is gonna be a public. Actually, we don't need it to be public. We just need int counter equals to 0. So right now we have all of these declared. We have public game object obstacle 2, 1, 3, and 4, which are gonna represent our fields into our engine, so we can drop our prefabs into that certain bar that we're gonna have in our Unity engine. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna create a new function. So we're gonna go to write private void on trigger 2D, trigger enter 2D. So this is what happens when the collision happens. Actually, what's gonna be done next when the collision happens. So we're just gonna write counter equals to random dot range from 1 to 5. So what we wrote here is that our counter is gonna be a random number between 1 and 4. So it's gonna be either 1, 2, 3, or 4. So we can actually randomize all of our obstacles spawning. And the next thing that we're gonna write is gonna be if collision dot game object dot tag equals to obstacle. We're gonna have next things happening. So if our game object collides with some object that has tag that is obstacle, we're gonna have a next thing happening that we're gonna write here. So if counter equals to 1. So if counter is equal to 1, we're gonna instantiate a new object. So we're gonna instantiate means to create a clone of the original object. So we're gonna create a clone of obstacle 1, obs1, and we're gonna create a new vector 2D, so we can have the original location of our obstacles. So we won't have all of the obstacles in the same position. We need to create a new vector so it can remember their position actually. So we're gonna set position of new obstacle where it's gonna be created position, and transform dot position dot on x-axis of course, and obstacle 1 transform dot position dot y. So we have the position y-axis also remembered. So let me just see what's happening here. Obstacle dot 1 obstacle dot transform at 1. Just let me see what's the problem here. Okay, new vector. Okay, and there's one next thing that we need to add. It's hit this and write quaternion, which is gonna be used to represent our rotation, and dot identity. And that's how we end our first part. So what this does actually, it creates a clone of obstacle 1 and adds it to the right location. So it has the right location on x-axis. So its x-axis is gonna be a location where we're gonna create a new obstacle, and y location is gonna be randomized depending on what we actually choose when it comes to our counter. So next thing that we have to do, we need to copy this like 4 times for each of these obstacles. So we're just gonna do else if. So else if counter equals to 2, we're gonna spawn obstacle 2, and we're just gonna write obstacle 2 here also, and just leave this one and create a new one. Write else if counter equals to 3. We're gonna create an obstacle 3 clone that's on the exact location as the obstacle 3 actually is, and we're just gonna create one more. Else if counter equals to 4, we're just gonna create an obstacle clone that is obstacle 4, and write 4 here too, and click save. So right now we have no errors when it comes to the C#, so we can continue on creating our controller. So what we're gonna do is next is just this script is not saved for some certain reason right now. So let me just see why. Okay. I don't know why Unity is not actually saving my I'm gonna hit save here. Okay, so let's hop to the engine back. Okay, now it's saved. Sometimes Unity doesn't save immediately, so you have to force it a couple times. So we have our script actually saved. Let me see. I wrote S here. Okay, just save it, like save all. Okay, so we're gonna hop back to our engine. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna copy our control one to the start position collision. So we're just gonna drag this one here, and if we open this one, right now we have all of our obstacle fields here that we declared here. So we declare obstacle 1, obstacle 2, 3, and the last position of our obstacle that are actually appearing here. So the next thing that we have to do is we need to drag all of our obstacles into the fields that actually matches them. So we're gonna drag obstacle 1 into the obstacle 1 field, obstacle 2 into obstacle 2 field, okay, obstacle 3 into obstacle 3 field, and obstacle 4 into an obstacle 4 field. So okay, so I'm just gonna click on all of these obstacles, because just select all of these obstacles and go to the box collider 2D and click is trigger, so you can actually enable triggering of all of these obstacles. And we're just gonna go to start position collision and also enable is trigger. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna select our start position and see our end position where it's gonna appear next, and hit play. So right now when it comes to collision, all of our next objects should be created. Oh, for some reason it's not working. Okay, just let me see what's happening. Oh, I didn't assign my end position to my start position collision. That's why this is not working. So just drag the end position into a controller script, and we should clear all of our errors and click play. Okay, so now when we hit the collision, the new object should be spawned, and so on and so on. So that's pretty much it, how you randomly generate all of these pipes. So in next video we're gonna actually do the aesthetics, so every pipe should be in order and in line, and everything should be aligned good. So thank you guys for watching, and see you next video.